I'm really so overwhelmed. I do not know what to say. Pardon me if I don't call you Yang Berhormat Mulia, Yang Berhormat, Yang Amat Berhormat, Yang Amat Berbahagia. I just call you our sons and daughters. I love to call you that. Because you're all a part of my family. My wife and I always have thought of all of you as just part of our family. I could tell stories of almost everybody. Like Azari missed telling you how he met Khadija and how he used to pine for her. Mauching did not tell you how she and Aris was so shy in school, how they met and what they did, and how Dato Azmi Khalid was such a very handsome young man in class, and was the heartthrob of all the sixth form girls. I could tell stories about practically everybody here. As they told you, after getting out of the university, when my first degree, I wanted to go and join the labor department. But my mother was obsessed that I should become a teacher, and nothing else. So while everybody went to do something great, I went back to do a diploma in education. There were only 3 of us in that class, because nobody wanted to go to the extra year. Anyway, when I finished, this whole story revolves around a great God above, who has designed everything for us. We're just carrying on his wishes with the brain he gave us. This is my own story. So finally, I was pushing here, pushing there. I was sent to Anderson School to start the first post-school certificate class, the first economics class in the country. And when I went to school and reported to Mr. Bromley, Tansi Salihudin probably remember Bromley, I went to report to Bromley. Bromley said, I don't have a classroom. Where am I going to put a new class? So he said, go up to the tower. You know where the clock is? Just below the clock. So I went up to the tower, and they said there are only 5 students. And those 5 are, one is Aziza, who married Murad. Now she's Ponsri Aziza. There's another girl called Tai Saw Sim, who became the headmistress of the Methodist Girls' School. She's since passed away. And then I had a young Chinese gentleman, Lo Wing Fung. I'm told he's somewhere, I don't know where. Another one called Muhammad Hassan, I think. He became an ambassador, Dato. Dato Ismail, that's right. And one very romantic person, Khair Muhammad, used to play the guitar and sing and like that. I remember my first lesson when I went in, Sosim had taught Aziza, you better be careful of this fellow who is coming. It's his first teaching lesson. So they both used to stare at me, And I used to wish I could disappear, because I did not dare look at them. So I said, the boys were more generous, The women always a little bit. So I said, my God, the only way to do is to prepare my lessons properly, Somehow or other, all my life, I was a temporary teacher before that. I was a volunteer teacher at Batu Gajah, because we couldn't get a job after school certificate. So we became a volunteer teacher together with this lovely girl, Tun Hamdan's wife, Siti Zainab. Some of you might know her. She's now top 1 Siti Zainab. She's in Penang now. Tun Hamdan, Allah Yarham, he's gone off. So I went and prepared my lessons very carefully, and I started teaching that first generation of students. Soon after that, I came into Tan Sri Salihudin's class. Tan Sri Salihudin, Velu, Dato Sri Muhammad Khalil, and all these people. They were a very generous group compared to the first group I had. But I still worked very hard, because these students were not just like anybody, They were very good students. You make a mistake, they know. I think Noraiza will remember this. Look at the English, the way Noraiza introduced just now, the way she spoke. Tremendous, I was so impressed. So was Saleh. I remember Saleh so much, Even till now, he's always in my heart, because I remembered him as such a kindly, grateful student. Such a wonderful person he is. So, and then I started teaching from that class I went on. I want you to know this. I came with just a degree and a diploma in education. I didn't know very much. But teaching you, I learned. So you are actually my teacher. I learned from you. Because you're such a good student, I went to the library and prepared my lessons very carefully. And I marked my papers. Luckily, I married a very nice wife, you know. Was in the same channel. She was also a teacher and worked very late into the night at 2 o'clock and so on. And loved the children, did such a lot of wonderful things to her children. So we both managed as a team. That's how the marriage has lasted, what, 56, 57 years, 58 years. And as I told you, as I went on teaching you and you teaching me, I think I learned such a lot more economics. It was a wonderful journey for me, even till today. Today I have Rokia here, Professor Dr. Rokia Talib. Since she started this book, she's like a headmistress. You know? She keeps on pushing me here, pushing me there, telling me this, telling me that. And even yesterday when she was sitting next to me, she had come from Kuching, you know. And everybody said she'd be tired, but she's looking as fresh as a fresh rose, you know, the way she came in. And she sat next to me. And I said, my God, the headmistress is next to me. I told Tajuddin that too. And I remember Rokia so well, the way she used to come from Kapung Payang, you know, and Batu Gajah and so on. Ghazali spoke about himself. I've been to their house and I met their remarkable parents, Dr. Yusuf and his mother. Miriam, is it Ghazali? Mother's name Miriam?
Yes.
Yes. They both, you know, such wonderful people, the way they used to treat me, you know. And then I remembered, Ghazali was so much in love with Khadija. I remember once in a school party, he took a flower and then he pulled one petal out and said, she loves me not. And then Ghazali, your vouch for that? Yeah. And then he said that she loves me not, she loves me. He went on like that. And I said, my God, he loves this girl so much, so I went to Greentown to look up her family house. So it's like that. You know what? The secret of all this, we had nothing else to do. We just thought and thought and thought. We're happy going to school. Nowadays, I read the papers the other day, some teachers are saying they're frightened to go to school. We were very happy to go to school. Those were the days when people waited to carry teachers' books, you know. Now, when you park your car, the boys run away while the teachers come. I'm not going to carry these books. And then, so happy to go to school. Nobody bullied us. The headmaster never asked, why did you come late? Or why did you do this? Nowadays, like IMG workers, people have to go and sign books, put down time, and so on. Because the poor teachers are not trusted. Nowadays, no. In the class, some of you will remember, and they're very tired, they say, come, let's go for a walk. Take the children, get down, go around Coronation Park, look at the limestone hills, and come back to class. I don't think any headmaster will let them do that now. You've got to give this teacher that freedom, you know, that sense of belonging, that sense of commitment, that you trust him, that you can do what you want. So that's how we worked with all the headmasters. As I was telling you, this teaching has been mutual. We went to school in the morning, very early, we did our classes, then we came back, there was a little common room, and as I told you, we were very scared of our students because they knew so much. I remember there was a girl called Teo Kim Yen. She came out of the 1957 batch, you know, which produced the Chief Justice of Singapore, Chan Sik Yong. It produced Tun Ahmad Sarji. It had many police officers and so many other people. I remember there was a young history teacher called Desmond Tate. Desmond John Tate, Leza Muzaffer Tate. He has passed away, you know, wonderful man. He married a girl called Rogaya. I remember he marked the paper and gave it to Kim Yen. Kim Yen looked at the paper and said, excuse me, and disappeared. No. She went straight to the library and she collected 4 or 5 books. And she came back into the class and read out to Mr. Tate where he had made mistakes. Can you imagine? How impossible it was to teach you. talking about you. She came back, and then the poor man was so embarrassed. He just walked out, went to the common room. He was a great friend of mine, probably one of the finest historians in this country. And later, I took him, you shouldn't have done that, you should have taken him to the library. Anyway, it was all made up. Therefore, you were that great student. We tried all sorts of experiments with you. I was just asking Tansi Salehudin, if he remembers, we took a group of people to Tanjung Piandang, to do a survey of the agricultural people there. And we all wrote a report. We stayed some place, a rest house, I think. And we wrote a report and gave it to an agricultural officer called Wilson. And then he said, my God, what a great report. And Khalil is not, Khalil gone back. Khalil was given a great compliment because he was leader of that group. That was also great. We went on doing all kinds of experiments, You will remember the seminars we used to have. Yes. Because the children never read newspapers. So we said, from now onwards, we are dividing you into different groups. We are putting each one a leader. We'll have a seminar on a Thursday evening. And on that evening, last 2 periods, each leader will read the economic happenings in his own area. So we got the children to do this. Then on Fridays, if you remember, we used to have 2 last periods where we did the Security Council. I remember one of the most biggest fighters in the Security Council was Vijayendran. And he used to, I don't know what country he represented, but he always fought for that country in the Security Council. So we had gone a long way with you because you were such wonderful people. There were no discipline problems. We did not know what discipline problems were. Everybody was so good. For a time being, I was hostel master. I enjoyed being hostel master. 3 weeks dining with them and doing all kinds of things. I remembered once, you probably remember Ismail Shabuddin, who was Dato Ismail Shabuddin, who was mayor of Ipoh. One day when the Tuanku was present, he was speaking. He related a story. I wanted to hide under the table, I didn't know why he told that story there. He said, when I was in school, a lot of boys were smoking. And then he will come into the hostel and he will tell the boys, don't smoke. I'll punish you. But they still went on smoking, went to the bathrooms and washrooms and smoked. So he said, he created a smoking room. In that smoking room, every day after dinner, at 9 to 9:30, those who wanted to smoke can go into the room and smoke. He told this in front of the Tuanku, I remember Tuanku asking me, my God, he said. So they will go in there and smoke for half an hour. You see, the advantage was, they didn't pull their smoke in that fast, as they did in the washrooms. You see, they got to come out a bit, so they pull. And here, they took their time. And when they went in, the other students saw these fellows going in. These fellows are smoking inside. Slowly that number dwindled. The number became smaller and smaller and smaller until there were 2 fellows who couldn't stand what all these other fellows were saying. The problem died by itself. These are not just thought of, they just came naturally. And before I finish, I must say how proud I've been of my students. I see Tan Sri Yunus Nasi. I salute him because I know he was the Air Force chief. Our love and mutual respect over the years have gone on. When I see Dato Sri Azmi Khalid, my mind goes back to the old time. And my wife always sees him on TV and says, Azmi, he's so handsome on TV. And then Tunku Razali, who gave us great honor by being present at one of our daughter's weddings. And when he was in Galas, we were so worried for him, we rang him in Galas and said, hello Tunku, how are you? He said, I'm fine. And that's all we wanted to hear. And when our students became big people, I felt as though I was in their shoes. When Maimundin became the first Secretary General, we went to office and told PA, we want to see her. He said, you can't see her. You have no appointment. So I wrote my name down and gave it. She was also my wife's student. And gave it to her and asked her to take it inside. Suddenly came Maimun like a storm, outside. When our students do very well, I feel as though I have done well. I feel as though I am in their shoes. I go back to what I said earlier. We had nothing more to do than just teach. We went to the school in the morning to teach. We came in the afternoon, and as some of you will remember, we ran library classes where we asked students to sit down and read books and went around helping them with the books. Evening, we went to play games. A lot of people played all kinds of things, put their heart and soul into it. You remember how great the hockey, the rugby. Ask Tansi Salehudin. He was a great footballer. And his football master was Vivekananda. Remember Tansi? He used to take you to Penang in his car. So there was this kind of attachment with teachers. Teachers looked upon their students as students. Finally, I want to tell you this. Last night I was at the 44th wedding anniversary of Tan Sri Aris Othman and Mao Ching. I know such a lot about them when they were students. They grew up and they didn't forget to invite us. We made it a point to come because we attended their wedding and had a lot to do with their families. So we went to there like that. All the time, every time that something you are doing, something that's going on, we're so proud of you. And if Auntie and I are walking today, we can still remember, unlike that man who asked for the toast just now, it's all because of you. Please do believe me, I say it with all my heart. God has blessed us so much with all of you. Our two girls are away in the United States. They're no more girls, they're big women. They're there. And our only son has flown to be with his Creator. But we have never felt the void, because we know there's such a lot of wonderful children all around us. We can go anywhere, anytime. There's always an old student to help us. As a matter of fact, our guardian is an old student. He rings us up, he finds out what's happening to us, how we are getting on, and so on. And finally, I must speak to my headmistress, who is the initiator of this whole thing, and how they folk came to the house, brought us layer cake and all kinds of things, and later this book thing originated. I feel rather nervous about this. But nevertheless, it is going on, and I want to take this opportunity to thank you all so very much for inviting us to this function, for once again making us feel wanted, and I thank you for all the blessings. It's your prayers, it's your blessings that keeps Auntie and me walking till today. Thank you very much, and may God's blessings be with us all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dato Sri. You notice that he didn't have any pieces of paper with him to remind him, unlike all of us before him. Datin Sri Puwayu will be assured of getting her, what do we call, ice cream instead of toast and eggs. Well, we thank you very much, Dato Sri Selvamany. We are about to come to the end of the event today, and I wish, on behalf of the members of the organizing committee, to thank each and every one of you for making time to be present with us here today. And we do hope that at some point in time in the future we will be able to meet up again, and probably we should organize one in Ipoh. I don't know, once we get the book out. But one thing is certain, our very intention of producing this biography, in part, is really to be able to share with the later generation, in the hope that they know and they learn that the role of a teacher is not just teaching and teaching any subject interestingly, but more important, they should also look into the welfare. Should be more welfare of each of their students, as well as be more caring about that, and the reward will come later. So one of a kind, in the person of Dato Sri and Selvamany, it's not easy to come by, and we would hope that with the book we'll be able to influence the role of teachers in the future for the sake of our country, our nation, and our people. Lastly, I would like to call upon Azrin Zainal Abidin, the daughter of Tan Sri Noraiza, to present a basket of fruits to Datin Sri Pubai Selvamany. Datin Sri. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of the event, and I wish to thank you once again for your presence here today, especially Dato' Sri Selvamany and his wife, Datin Sri Pubai Selvamany. Thank you very much. Thank you, dear.